ベイリー・ギフォード世界長期成長株ファンド、愛称ロイヤルマイル。スコットランドの首都エディンバラで1908年に創業した運用会社ベイリー・ギフォード社をご存知でしょうか。同社は創業以来100年以上にわたり長期投資の哲学に基づいてグローバル株式投資において運用実績を積み上げるとともに、各国の年金基金などの機関投資家から資産運用を任されてきました。本日はそんな同社の運用戦略を活用する投資信託ロイヤルマイルをベイリー・ギフォード社カーラ・バナタイン氏のインタビューを交えながらご紹介いたします。インタビューに移る前に当ファンドが活用する LTGG 戦略について簡単にご紹介します。 LTGG 戦略とはロングターム、グローバル、グロースの頭文字を取ったもので、それぞれ長期投資、世界の株式への投資、成長性に期待できる企業への投資を目指すことを意味します。こちらは当ファンドの活用する LTGG 戦略の運用開始来のパフォーマンス推移です。 LTGG 戦略は2024年2月で運用開始から20年を迎えており、運用開始来20年間の騰落率はご覧のようになっています。ここからは LTGG 戦略のスペシャリストであるベイリー・ギフォード社カーラ・バナタイン氏に直接お話を伺いましょう。
Hello everyone, I am Carla Bannatyne, an investment specialist for the long-term global growth strategy, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you today. Well, long-term global growth aims to deliver exceptional long-term returns for our clients by investing in a concentrated portfolio of what we believe to be the world's greatest growth companies. The strategy was launched nearly 20 years ago with 4 beliefs central to its philosophy. Firstly, that share prices follow fundamentals over meaningful periods of 5 years or more. As such, our investment time horizons need to be long-term. Only a few companies can deliver the operational progress we seek for outsized returns. Therefore, we run a concentrated portfolio of around 30 to 40 stocks. Thirdly, it's important to remember that volatility does not always equal risk, particularly in the short term. The market often struggles to value companies addressing long-duration growth opportunities. And lastly, it's expensive to trade often. It erodes returns and it is very difficult to time the market. Compounding and patience, on the other hand, can transform returns. Our approach is entirely bottom-up, and the lens we use to analyze our companies is our 10-question framework. Through this, we seek to understand opportunity, culture, financial strength, and valuation. We then need to gain conviction that the company is growing rapidly in areas with huge market opportunities. We then need to gain conviction that the company's ability to execute on this opportunity. So we look for differentiated culture and strong competitive advantages. This is a high hurdle for inclusion in the portfolio. So while this is a global and unconstrained strategy, there are only a few companies that meet these requirements. We are truly long-term. Our average holding period for the long-term global growth portfolio is in the region of 8 years. This is versus a market that is increasingly short-term. The average holding period for the New York Stock Exchange is just months. One of the reasons we are able to be long-term is the fact that Baillie Gifford is a limited liability partnership and has been for its 115-year history. This is a rare structure that is conducive to long-term investing, mainly because we're not beholden to the demands of external shareholders, particularly when having to navigate the volatility that is unavoidable over short-term horizons. Instead, we're able to focus on our sole task, investing. The partnership structure provides stability and focus, but also allows for experimentation and extreme growth investing. We're able to adopt and maintain a long-term perspective as a result of the differentiated insights we seek. There are approximately 140 investment managers and analysts here at Baillie Gifford, from more than 65 different academic backgrounds, ranging from engineering, medicine, philosophy, and history, to name just a few. This cognitive diversity enriches debates and ensures we think differently to traditional economists or financial analysts. Our differentiated thinking is further enhanced by the relationships with academics and other subject matter experts who offer deep understanding and insights into our research. However, it is our relationships with management teams that allow us to assess the very important intangible aspects which make a company. Our long-termism, together with our differentiated perspectives, means we think about returns very differently to the market. Instead of being preoccupied with pessimism and loss aversion, we embrace the fact that investment returns are asymmetrical. It is far harder to be optimistic and think imaginatively about what a future world may look like. But the long-term global growth portfolio is looking to invest in companies that are at the leading edge of transformative change. Where we make mistakes, the maximum we can lose is the capital invested. But if successful, the returns are unbounded.
最後に2023年までの LTGG 戦略のパフォーマンスについて伺いたいと思います。
We've seen quite the roller coaster over the past few years, from remarkably strong performance during the 2020 COVID pandemic that was then followed in 2022 by the most severe drawdown since the global financial crisis. Over 2023, we've seen somewhat of a rebound, but then a small pullback over the last quarter. However, it has always been like this for long-term global growth. Volatility is par of the course, whether at the individual stock level or at the portfolio level. The broad sell-off across 2022 was largely driven by concerns surrounding inflation and rising interest rates, which were only compounded by the devastating war in Ukraine. These conditions were particularly punitive for long-duration growth stocks like those held in the long-term global growth portfolio. We cannot control macroeconomics. You can try to speculate about peak interest rates or inflation, but we're focused on the operational performance of our companies. The easy narrative is that growth stocks are victims of inflation and a higher cost of capital because of duration and strained balance sheets. This is wrong for long-term global growth. More than 80% of the portfolio is on net cash versus just 30% of the index. This is further supported by more than 90% of the portfolio generating either positive earnings or positive free cash flow. The ability to fund growth from internal cash will be a comparative advantage over the coming years. In the short term, the market has a myriad of concerns, all helping to weigh on share prices. But we must remember that the slow-moving, transformative growth that support company progress move quietly, rarely reaching headlines, but have a vast impact over the long term. The market will always struggle to value transformational growth, and this is our advantage as long-term investors. Focusing on what the world could look like in a decade from now helps future-proof our clients' portfolios. Competition for capital remains intense, and the team is exploring a diverse set of new stock ideas from machine vision to robotics, biotechnology, and cybersecurity, just to name a few. And this should be cause for optimism.
いかがでしたでしょうか。最後に当ファンドの運用実績はご覧のようになっています。また当ファンドは NISA 制度の成長投資枠対象ファンドです。成長株への長期投資を実践するロイヤルマイルをぜひご検討ください。ファンドの目的、特色、投資リスク、ファンドの費用等については画面を一時停止してご覧ください。